Hey everyone, and welcome to Daily Game Review number 84. Today we have kgsdenka 4Q versus Xombar 4Q. So let's go ahead and see how it goes. It looks like a Sanrinsei versus a Nirinsei. This is a very straightforward game that normally you don't see very often at the 4Q level, due to the fact that most players typically start out playing only star points, and then for some reason I think everyone just grows out of it. So it's not something you would normally see at this level. It's just an opening that you would normally see at the double digit Q level, due to the fact that everyone kind of tries this and then grows tired of it or just grows out of it. But it's interesting to see nonetheless, and we're going to see how it goes this game. We do see black ignoring white, and white goes in. Now already this is going to be slightly good for black. Let me explain why. When there is a stone here, especially in the Sanrinsei, you almost never ever go in like this. That is because, first off, when there's a pincer here, it is very easy to just 3-3, and white cannot surround you in the corner due to the fact this cutting point is too good for black. This cut is almost always good for black when there's a stone on both sides. So this is very good for black and very powerful, so white will almost never do that. However, you may say, this stone's over here now. Well, that's a lot of influence. So what if black chooses to play this way and this way, and then just makes the influence? Well, now you can see that there's some influence. Or what if black says, I'm still going to go here? And then white jumps. Well, now I can attach. White jumps here. Okay, now I can attach. It's just, it feels so uncomfortable for white. So I can't say this is a bad move. If there's a pincer, I can say it's a bad move. It's bad. However, without the pincer, I can't say it's a bad move, but it just feels so uncomfortable. It feels like you're just going to get cut apart. There's no reason to. Rather, you can play a normal move like this. You can save the 3-3, or you can go ignore and just go inside, since there's so many stones here. Once black invests so many stones, then you can just invade and say, okay, where are you going to get the territory? Let's solve this before you get too big. And that's also fine. Since there's a double wing, white might also choose to just 3-3. So several options for white. This is going to be interesting. We're going to see how this plays. Normally black you don't cut due to the fact that you have very poor shape when you do. And there does seem to be a question. Apparently A was the only move. Yes. The reason this is not good for black is because when white plays A, black has to play B. There's a cut, and then you can play this, and here. I said B. Is that B? No. White has to play here, or black has to play here, sorry. And then you can do this. And now you can see black's shape is so ugly here. So ugly. The bad liberties. White got a lot of points, so white's very efficient. And there's potentially a cutting point here later. Therefore, this shape's really ugly for black. So black will almost never play it. And also, normally you jump because of that cut. So here, this descending down move is just really bad shape. So almost no one plays it anymore. Actually, I don't think anyone plays it due to the variation I just showed. So here, A is the move. This is not quite the move. Also, there's cuts here, so I wouldn't fix that. This kind of helps black develop the center. Definitely don't want to jump here. You're already alive in the corner. You're completely fine. Tanuki. Once you're fine, Tanuki. And Sente is definitely important on this board due to the fact that black is developing very quickly. You want to go and deal with that as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to get out of hand. If you go something like this, then it's very easy for black to push you again, still developing his thickness, and goes to play a big move with maybe something like this, and plays on the line of the moyo and gets a very large moyo. Or he just goes and plays on top, which is also very big, and keeps developing the influence. And this is getting way out of hand very quickly. However, black chose to keep pushing, and still you want Tanuki, because now you're not going to get cut, you're not going to die, you're still fine. So just Tanuki, which you do, perfectly reasonable. However, this move is not so reasonable due to the fact that 3-3 is open. It's much simpler and much easier. This seems kind of iffy due to the fact that if you just play something like this and play here, it's very easy to push white down and keep white low and develop the outside influence. or maybe you can even approach here first and then block. And white's small in the corner and black's getting a very large influence. So it looks like you're having trouble dealing with the influence. Nobi is better because if you can just Atari and then Tanuki, and now I don't have to fix because when white takes, I can Atari and fix after that very easily. Therefore, there's no monkey jump. So Nobi was better. All right. Here, black chose to do this. Destroy the Moyo immediately. Don't want to block here when the Moyo is bigger. The Moyo is bigger and it is getting out of hand. Now the Moyo's practically out of hand. Black feels really good on this board, so now you need to start dealing with it. There's a couple options. First off, you can either invade somewhere or you can reduce on the line of the influence. Invading seems more practical due to the fact that it's just too large. You need to destroy it. A couple options is use the Aji from here and from here, so you can attach under. You could threaten this first and then attach under. You could, you could try and run away and use the cutting Aji, but it's almost gone. You could try and live directly, but that seems like a last resort. And then on top, it looks like a move like this, or a peep, and then going here is possible, but I think the right side's more plausible. Well, that one's the last one I would choose on the right side. I think threaten the Aji first, and then an attachment under is a little bit easier to work with. This is going to be very difficult because it's right next to thickness, and it seems like you're getting too heavy too quickly. But it's not impossible. Black should take the base, and then white runs. Surrounding, well, now you have a chance because now you can still get back to this attach and start making eye space on the side, which is what you need. Hane here is not recommended because you're running towards the thickness. However, black chose the cut, which is rather strange. That's a lot of forcing moves for white. Does this work? I don't think it does. If it doesn't work, then this is overplay. Nope, doesn't work. Okay, so it's overplay. Therefore, just Atari here. Threaten the Panuki. And if black doesn't give you the Panuki, then you can just go here and fix. And this is so good for white, so black can't let this happen, so black will have to do something like that. And then surround, and then you're almost alive completely, right? And of course, if black chooses to just let you out like this, or play like this, you will get a Panuki, which definitely cancels the thickness in quite a large and powerful way. So that would also be good for you. You could even threaten this, and actually, no, don't do that. You could threaten the cut, or you could just go Tanuki up top now, since you pretty much reduced the right with the Panuki, which is super powerful. Anyway, this is wrong direction because there's no way to kill these stones. And now you're cut off. So now it's a big, dangerous situation. Again, you're getting cut. So white, watch your cuts. Make sure you don't play a move without checking the cuts first. Make sure you stay connected. You cannot live, especially next to thickness, if you're getting cut left and right. This is not a Sabaki situation. You need to stay connected. So just stay connected and live. However, if you keep running away like this, then you're probably gonna die. Here, I think it's almost game over. I don't see a way for white to live with even two of these three things. And therefore, black's getting way too many points. Black's controlling the board. White doesn't have enough territory, and I think it's almost game over from here. White does try to save these. That is a good catch here. That is a good catch. But the cut still works. And then white goes here. Black just needs to simply kill these like so. And black's ahead. We're going to see how this plays out. White does get this cut. Kill the cutting stones, perfectly fine. So black has one weakness. And black just run away. It's the only weakness you have. Just fix it. Watch your cuts, guys. Watch your cuts. That is a running theme so far. Watch the cuts. Also, you want to Nobi this way to make this a ladder at J2, because you cannot Atari down. If you Atari down, this Nobi will threaten this cut. Therefore, you have to block this side, which will give lots of Aji for black. I'm not saying black will do this directly. I'm saying there's unnecessary Aji. If you just fix this way, it's a lot easier to kill the stone. Reducing. Okay, this is a reducing move because there's no base. However, you are behind enemy lines. Just draw a line between the black stone's influence, and this is behind enemy lines. It's very, very dangerous. In other words, don't do this. Unless you have a lot of forcing moves and ways to live inside of here, it's way too dangerous to play behind enemy lines without a base or without forcing moves to make eyes. Therefore, find the line of the influence and just reduce. That is how you reduce a Moyo. Or you can place Shoulder here, or place anywhere on the line pretty much, as long as you don't get cut off and die. If you're not going to play on the line, then just go in and live. This is going to be too dangerous. And pretty much it's over. I don't see, unless black messes it up. Looks like black messed it up. But the influence is still good for black. So even if we play it this way and white just lives, this is already almost like 70 points for black. Just guessing, it looks like 70. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Just rough looking at it, it looks like 70 points. White, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe 35 if we're generous. And it's black's turn, so black can just go in. And then remember, there's still Aji here, so we can't count that yet. This is completely game over. Okay, so let's think about a few things here. First off, white didn't deal with the Moyo before it got out of hand. That's the biggest thing. You need to see that the Moyo is going to happen. Once you see that the Moyo is going to happen, that in the future, or in a few moves, or even one move, probably you want to either prevent it or get something of equal value before it happens. Due to the fact that once the Moyo is out of hand, it can become very difficult to deal with. However, once they have a Moyo, because sometimes the territory, you will get territory and your opponent gets a Moyo, so you have to learn how to deal with the Moyo. And that is invade or reduce. And I did show you a couple ideas, or a couple combinations. Look for weaknesses when you're invading, or if you're trying to like reduce deeper than the line of the Moyo, look for weaknesses and try to make combinations with stones working together, or threaten to do something and threaten to go multiple directions. Make a base as fast as or make eyes as fast as you can, because when you invade a Moyo, there's no running away. It's just immediately go for step 3, make eye space. So go ahead and do that. Reducing the line of the Moyo, or look for peeps or cuts or something like that, and then reduce and sabaki your way out or something. That's also fine. But those are general ideas, and I showed you a few ideas. Hopefully you'll find those ideas helpful. But I think the main thing to focus on this game, the biggest mistake both players made, watch the cuts. Cuts are super powerful to play against your opponent, and letting them happen to you can cost you games. Just look at the right side. White got cut, what, 2 or 3 times over here? Once, twice. This didn't really matter because I was going to cut anyway, but let's say, you could even say 3, but at least twice over here. Once or twice up here as well. I think once here and twice here. And then black got cut once down here. Watch the cuts, guys. When you're weak and you're trying to run away, check your cuts before you play. Because if you run and you get cut, then you're going to have 2 things to worry about instead of 1. Unless you're playing Sabaki, of course. Sabaki is the exception to that. So make sure you check your cuts. That is the biggest thing to take from this game. Cuts are very powerful. Other than that, check the cuts and several shapes and a couple of peep and ideas. And I showed white where white could have dealt with the Moyo much sooner, and that is reduce it before it happens, stop it before it happens, and don't keep responding when you don't need to. These extra responses on the bottom is what made black get out of hand very quickly, because all these unnecessary moves. These white lost Sente, I think, twice on the bottom side. No, yeah, I think white had at least 2 chances to Tanuki on the bottom side, at least 2. Uh, and C17, and some moves up here. All right, but hopefully you guys found it, hopefully at least a little helpful for dealing with Moyos, or at least had some general ideas. I think for Moyos, it's really difficult to show due to the fact that Moyos can be case by case, but hopefully I gave you guys some good ideas. I think the biggest thing, though, to take away from this is watch your cuts, and invasions are combinations, or just reduce on the line. Reduce on the line, watch your cuts, invade with combinations. Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys did find this helpful. And once again, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.